Hi, and welcome to this edition of Link to Logansport Schools. Today we're going to talk to a few people about the Health and Wellness Center that opened up for Logansport School Corporation employees in May. We're going to talk to somebody who's actually utilized the clinic and some of the information to make a difference, some of what's behind the clinic, why we started it, and then we're going to get to talk to one of our very friendly nurses who deals with our patients every day. Our first guest on the show today is Mr. Greg Correct, Business Manager and Controller for Logansport Community Schools, and he's going to talk with us a little bit about what's behind the Wellness Center and how it got started. So would you like to tell us a little bit about some of the background on the idea and why we went this route and how it got started?
Sure. 20 years ago, the Logansport Community School Corporation banded together with several other school corporations in the area to form the WVWCI Trust. And over that 20-year history, that group has looked to keep healthcare costs reasonable for our members and reasonable for the corporation so that we can provide the benefit to our members. Recently, in the past couple of years, as costs have risen, we've also had to get very strategic in how we look at other programs and other ways to bring and keep costs reasonable and yet provide quality services to our members. We've attended a couple of meetings at other school corporations that also have clinics on site, and we liked the models that we were presented. As a result, we took those ideas back to the trust, and essentially we started looking at our own school corporations and whether or not any of those would fit that model for hosting an on-site wellness center. And as a result, we have a couple operating within the trust, and then Logansport is the second.
That's awesome. So, what are some of the benefits? I mean, obviously, people see it as you had to put some money up front into creating this wellness center, and there's some costs that go along with it. But what are really the benefits that come from having a wellness clinic for our employees?
The benefits really are several, and they involve all the members, obviously, and they also involve the corporation. But even behind the scenes, the trust and how we deal with claims. Claims drive premiums, whether it's health insurance, car insurance, or whatever. But for the corporations involved in the trust, we really had to look at how can we get our members proactively involved in their own health care. Mm-hmm. And preventative measures like this, cutting to a health and wellness center, is a great way to start that process. When members come here, the services offered here are free to the members. Mm-hmm. We still have costs that they're borne by the corporation and ultimately the trust to offer the services, but to the member they are free. Mm-hmm. So we think that's a distinct advantage that our members receive versus other avenues of healthcare.
Wow, and I've heard, people can come to the clinic and, for regular medications or what have you. I've heard people telling me that they're saving like $300 or $400 a month out of pocket on medications that they take regularly, which in this day and age, and with the way the economy is right now, that's a big deal for our members of our corporation. They haven't had a pay raise in several years, and so this is one way to kind of, it's a win-win for everybody involved, and we're trying to help people become more responsible for their health and well-being, and give them the tools to do that and still kind of help them on the financial side also.
Sure, we definitely want to provide a quality service to our members, and without a doubt, when we're not able to do things because of budgetary constraints on the revenue side for folks, we certainly want to help them maybe cut some expenses that they currently have.
What do you see as the future for the Wellness Center?
Well, first and foremost, we want to get our participation and get the word out that this is a place to come to get quality healthcare services. Utilization is very strong right now for our members, but we still have room to grow. We'd like to see that utilization continue to be on the high side, and hopefully we can expand some hours. Down the road, maybe some additional services can also be offered out of this facility.
Our next guest is Chris Hess, principal at Fairview Elementary School, and she is also one of two of our wellness team leaders here in the school corporation. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We are, wellness is a big issue, and we try to get it out there in front of all of our people, and I know you and Katie Lohman, your partner in Wellness Crime, work very hard at trying to, not only educate our members, but also to find activities to get them involved and get them excited about wellness, and find different opportunities. And, we were all very excited for the Wellness Clinic to open because it brings about lots of different opportunities, and, it's just a win-win situation, as I said earlier, for all of our members. So how does the Wellness Clinic fit into the wellness program for our members?
Well, it's so important, I think, Michelle, that everybody takes an active role in their own health. It's about being proactive. I mean, the clinic is a great way to be proactive. They can check things, how are they feeling, what's going on. The clinic can help educate as far as coaching. But as far as the wellness program, it's all about just getting involved, finding ways to be healthy. For example, right now we're doing stress management. We're all stressed.
We don't have stress in our lives, do we?
We have a little bit of stress every now and then.
Okay.
And right now we're bringing in Natasha Walters from Bodyworks, and she is teaching yoga for our staff members. Anybody that's interested in trying out yoga and then signing up for a 6-week class. Not only do they learn some great physical activity and inner strength training, but just it's all about learning how to manage that stress, and she gives some great tips and ideas. So there's one example of offering some services to our folks. I know a lot of people in different schools are doing things like the Biggest Loser contest. So it's also a fun way to have a buddy, to have a partner that says, here, I really want to lose 10 pounds, or I really want to get stronger, or if you have a friend that you can do it with, and after school you can walk around the building or walk on your lunch break, or after school you're doing yoga with a friend. That's so helpful to keep you motivated. So that's part of our goal, I think.
What other exciting things are happening in LCSC with wellness this year?
Well, besides our yoga classes that we're offering, we're going to be doing some things throughout the year. Nutrition is so important, and again, Natasha's going to kind of help us in leading us to some, introducing us to healthy habits with purposeful, good nutrition, learning about ways to just put better things in our bodies, as we all know. It's also important, Katie is really good about this, sending out some news bits, healthy tips, ideas, recipes, and those kinds of things. So people can just, if they don't have a lot of time, but they can click open that email and read some healthy tips, and it might spark some conversation with your friends. You might go home to your family and try a new recipe, or say to your spouse or your significant other, we need to start walking, or we need to drink more water, or maybe when you're shopping you're going to be picking up some healthier foods. It's just all those little things we can do. I know in the spring, when the spring comes, we're going to be looking at doing some maintain, don't gain kind of activities, and coming up with some ideas for that, and then probably wind out the year with a walk your way kind of initiative. Yeah, so, and people are great. They're creative in their individual schools, doing some things to just keep each other motivated. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I think it's great too. And we're also we're going to be doing some health screenings coming up in the near future.
Yes.
So, I think our next guest, we're going to talk to a little bit about the realization that he had when he had his health screening last year, and some information and some change that have come about. But those are really important part of wellness, just to get that yearly kind of checkup and screening, because so many things that we do could be prevented, or if we're on top of it right when it's getting started, or starting to kind of maybe slide downhill a little bit, we're so much better off.
So much better off, and that's just about being proactive and taking care of yourself. We're very educated. We're bad about that. Taking care of the kids and taking care of our families, but taking care of ourselves is so important. So those health screenings are going to be very important. It's easy to do, and hopefully we're going to be able to do that right here in our clinic too. So that's important.
Our final guest today is Mr. Greg Dominic, 4th grade teacher at Landis Elementary School, and he's here to talk to us a little bit about his wellness visit and some changes that he's made. So welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, about a year ago or so, you were coming up on having a wellness screening, and
Right.
you had some information come forth to you that kind of made a little bit of a
Yeah.
difference to you. You
Kind
want to
of-
tell us a little bit about that?
Kind of good news, bad news. It wasn't something I really wanted to do, but unfortunately for me, my wife is more stubborn than I am. And LCSC came up with the initiative last spring that we will pay you $200 to do a health screening. And I'm 53 right now, 52 at the time. And I'd never had one, not thinking that, to be honest, really, I'm not really that old, but old enough that I need to. So I said, nah, I don't really need to do that. She said, you're going to, you get paid for it, end of discussion. So I went, and my blood sugar was like 239, I weighed 265, high blood pressure. If it was a test, I would have flunked 3 or 4 of the areas.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a wake-up call.
Mm-hmm.
It was just basically, I allowed myself to be upset and mad and angry for a couple days, but then it just came down to the realization, you know what? You are where you are at this point in your life because of the choices that you have made.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a teacher. We talk a lot about good choices versus bad choices. And, I've had family members. I was diagnosed with diabetes, actually, with that, because I went straight to my family practitioner, and they confirmed that the next week. So came down to, you know what? You've got family that have lost limbs, have really had a low quality of life as they've gotten older, and I thought, I'm not going to live that way the rest of my life.
Sure.
So, as I do with a lot of things, I just say, I'm going to fight it, I'm going to attack it. So, I was put on some meds, obviously, but basically, I started exercising probably for the first time since high school, and that wasn't easy at first. It wasn't real pretty to watch either. And changed some eating habits. I joked that I used to eat a lot of fast food. This land is very close to what I call Hamburger Road here in Logansport. And it was just very easy not to pack my lunch, go to McDonald's, go to Haps, go to wherever, grab something that was fried and brought back. And I like to joke now that McDonald's probably had to lay off 2 or 3 people since I don't eat there as much as I used to. But I attacked it head on as I did, and 6 months later I've lost 60 pounds. My blood sugar, I just checked this morning before I came today, 105.
Awesome.
Blood pressure, pretty normal, but you know what? I teach and I coach, and I'm a Chicago Cub fan, so that
Fair in of itself.
that adds to my high blood pressure right there. But all my numbers are better. My medication has been cut basically in half. I feel wonderful. I had been diagnosed with sleep apnea 10 years ago, and had to sleep with a CPAP machine. I no longer need that. Had to buy all new clothes this summer.
Now, if you're a girl, that's a great thing to have.
Even for a guy, it was kind of good. Mr. Fisher gave me this shirt 6-7 years ago when I used to coach volleyball. Didn't wear it because, one, it didn't look good on me. It didn't fit. It's a whole size smaller than what I have. My pants are now 3 sizes smaller. I feel better than I ever have in my life.
And so do you think, obviously, like, it was a real wake-up call for you.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you see that, like, transferring into your everyday, you teaching? I mean, you have to go to school with more
so
energy.
much more energy. And I really first noticed it was way back in May when I take my class to Camp Wildwood for a couple of days every year. And in years past, we'd go out for 2 days, and I'd come home, shower, and I'd be in bed by 4 o'clock and the rest of the night. I came home, I was tired, but I wasn't exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we did things that night, and it's just, my energy level is just so much better.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep through the night. I mean, I've had people say, gosh, we had that great big thunderstorm last night. You didn't hear that? I said, no, I sleep well. I haven't given anything up forever. I still love hamburgers. I still like junk food,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just making smarter choices. And, diabetes isn't necessarily a good thing, but the diagnosis was, in the long run, the best thing that's ever happened, because
Mm-hmm.
it's forced me to take charge of my life, take charge of my wellness. And, you know, it's not been easy. I mean, I still have good days and bad days, but it's forced me to make better choices. It's forced me to exercise, and, you know, I can't say enough about the health screening. Maybe it sounds corny, but I feel like it has saved my life. At the very least, it has added more years to my life. So
that's amazing.
good thing. Really
You know,
is.
and we all, as we talk about wellness and things, as we've sat in different kinds of meetings and talked about the clinic and the opening of the clinic and the ongoing, you know, everyday operation of the clinic and different kinds of wellness things that we have going on here, we call Mr. Dominic. He should be our poster child for our wellness clinic and health screenings, because, I mean, the good thing is it did make a difference in what you're doing and how you're living, and it also, you're not afraid to tell people about it. Some people are, you know, they don't want to talk about it, but it's good because, you know, it's just like anything else we do. When we have our own data and people that we really know that it's touched or changed, it seems somehow always more meaningful because it's somebody we know or something we can really relate to. So we're glad that you're here today, and we're glad that
Thank you.
Um,
And I'm glad to. I mean, because I'll be honest, back in March, I didn't think I could do this. But I guess probably what I would tell everyone, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Because exercise and I have not been friends for years.
Right.
And I love McDonald's and Wendy's and Burger King and all of them, but again, it's just made better choices. I now go to McDonald's, I get a salad. Every once in a while, I'll get a hot dog, hamburger. I had French fries for the first time in months last week. But again, just making better choices. It forces you to make intelligent choices, and we can all do it.
Right.
I mean, if I can pull it off, I'm telling you, anybody can.
And our final guest today on the show is Jenny McCoy, who is the nurse here at the Wellness Clinic. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How has the Wellness Center made a difference for the clients here in LCSC?
Well, I feel like it's allowed them to seek medical attention if they've not had a primary care provider, if they've not seen a physician recently, if they've not been able to afford their medications. They've been able to utilize the clinic and come and use that benefit that's given to them.
How has the Wellness Clinic, or how will it help during this flu season as far as flu vaccines go?
We are able to offer the flu vaccine for employees at no out-of-pocket expense to them. They can come here with anybody on their insurance plan, their spouses and their children, can come, and we'll give them a flu vaccine at no charge. And then we are also, Kathy Rosie's been giving them at the high school to help us out, and they can come to the clinic. There's no appointment needed. They just need to come in and we will administer the vaccination. There's a consent form to sign and keep them healthy.
Thanks for joining us on this edition to Link to Logansport Schools, and stay tuned next month for even more exciting information.
We're ready for you now, Mrs. Starkey.
Great.